Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a data engineer. So, for a data engineer, what we need is Python, ETL, ELT, Scala, data, algorithm, SQL, big data, Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, cloud, data, X models, lakes, snow, snowflake, snowpipes, snow site, anything that has snow. The ability to manage, communicate data plans to non-technical people, your industry, and a bonus for the rest of that stuff. I also do non-tech resumes as well. I just want to let everybody know, but the tech market is an absolute shambles. That is why 50% of what is sent to me is a tech resume, but I do other stuff. So, yeah, let's begin. Can I find these in 20 seconds? This person, I think, said they had a 1 in 100 ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview. And ideally, you want less than 1 in 50. So it should take a minimum of 50 applications to get a single interview. I will say we are now in November. At the time of this recording is 11/17. So in November, the recruitment shuts down hard, especially at this time. So even with a perfect resume, you may not notice a good ratio until January, and that is normal year after year. Do not panic. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds, because again, that's how long recruiters have. If I can't find it in 20 seconds, doesn't matter. And go. All right, nothing here is useful. Let's see. Where's your education? Okay, all the way at the bottom. Okay, got it. Azure, it's cloud. NLP, little bit is okay. Decision making, boosted theme abstraction on 1.8 mil. What is that? Why do I care about that? Why do I care about BERT? Hugging Face is okay, and that's it. That's time. This person would get yeeted and deleted. So if you notice, skill section's completely worthless. The stuff that is here needs to be here. That is what's needed. And this, most people do not need a summary. The rest of the formatting is okay. This is my formatting. I prefer people use it, but this is not an issue primarily with formatting, except for the fact that the education is at the bottom. Your education should be up at the top. It's mainly a fact that the bullet points did not have what I need. So, what did this person write to me? They said, I've lost where I was right here. All right, they said, I submitted a resume about a couple of days ago, but even I knew it was terrible. I understand if you don't want to critique another one. I didn't notice, so that's on me, so you get 2. If you'd like to just skip this, his resume is much more improved, better wording, more relevant bullet points, mentioning important factors like agile, where? Oh yeah, I didn't even get that far down because the rest of the formatting was bad. And not just saying every technology under the sun, even if I don't know what they mean. I have my bachelor's in math and understand that's not the best. I mean, it's not terrible as long as you have relevant experience, which it sounds like you do. You graduated in December 24 and immediately started applying for data science roles. Once I realized that pretty much everyone is applying to those roles, yep, it's very impacted. Switched to data engineering. Now, although that's what I'm currently pursuing, I may actually do better in ML. I'm not sure anymore. I feel so hopeless from this stupid job search. I just want to pay off my loans. I want you to pay off your loans too. That's why I'm doing this. And make an impact, but man, it doesn't feel like things are going to happen. I know my resume looks very immature. What do you mean by that? I don't grade resumes based on maturity. That's not something we do. But I'm working as hard as I can. I know I can make a difference. I just need a company to give me a chance. And that is what I'm here, is so that you can actually get that chance. In January. Right now, you're probably not going to get anything until January, but that's just normal. Seriously shuts down very, very hard in November, December. So, your biggest problem here is not the maturity of your resume or the formatting. A little bit the formatting, again, but not the biggest one. It's the fact that you don't show me almost anything I need, right? Like, where is Python? I don't see it. Yep, that's it. That's all it is. Where is ELT? Nope, maybe you don't have it. ETL? Maybe ETL? All the way down at the bottom. Nobody's going to scroll that far down. SQL, where's SQL? There it is. Where else is it? Oh, nope. Too far down. So yeah, your problem is you used a skill section because these are pretty close to what I would actually be looking for. And let me reiterate what a qualification is. So I have tried explaining this before. I'm going to try a new tactic. Is a qualification is, unless it's education, which is one, or years of experience, is the keyword, and I hate saying that, but people understand what it is, how you used the keyword, and the reason or result of you using that keyword. That equals a qualification. And if you do not show me where you did it, or how you did it, or the reason and result of you doing it, it is not a qualification. You need to think of it like a math problem, right? So that's why skill sections and summary sections are terrible, is they do not show me where you did it, how you did it, or the reason and result of you doing it. So while I am looking for Agile, I'm not looking for a keyword. I'm looking for how you used Agile, or how you used Agile to do something else, or something along those lines, and the reason or result of it. So, like, led cross-functional team of 5 with Agile practice is good. This shows me cross-functional. How you did it was Agile. Those are both things that I'm going to be looking for. And this is an appropriate use of numbers, is you told me how many people are in the team. This is good. To deliver solutions aligned with timeline and stakeholders' goal. That means nothing. Why did you do that, right? Like, how... I don't need to know how, like, percentage effective it was, but let a cross-functional team of 5 Agile, with 5 Agile practices to create a NLP pipeline so our stakeholders could be more efficient or something, right? You have not told me why it was reasonable that you did that, why you did that, why that was important. And then this, applied Cohort's LLM API, API is good to surface emotional labels and boost search relevance for end users. Why was that important? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So you're trying to prove that you need a chance, but the problem is when they're looking at this, they're not going to care about that. They're going to care about how you did what you did, and you're not telling me what you did. You are saying, I used Cohorn's the semantic insight stakeholder outreach to Bert's topic and Hugging Face, when I'm not asking for that. This is what I'm asking for. So that's why a qualification, which is what we're looking for, is a keyword, which again, I hate saying that, but people understand what it means, plus how you used it, plus the result or reason you used it, plus where you used it. If it's not those if it doesn't contain all 4 of those things, it doesn't count as a qualification, and I'm not moving you forward. So your problem is you overly relied on a skill section and tried to impress me with the rest of it, and that is why you failed. So, again, I want you to get a job. I want you to be able to get a job so you can pay off the massive student loans that are a scam. That is despicable. I hate how we saddle our young people with so much debt to the point where they cannot contribute. That is disgusting, and I hate it. So that is why I'm telling you now, as harsh advice, but true advice, is nobody cares to give you a chance. You have to make us believe you've already known it. And you have to show us how you did it. So I hope that was helpful. If you need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Let's go to the next resume. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with friends that need help. This is a resume of a strategy consultant. I've never recruited for this, but, first time for everything. They did not tell me how many applications they submitted and their interview ratio, but what we're looking for in a strategy consultant is degree, industry, and previous consulting management experience. They want to see that you've done this before. They want to see that you can meet deadlines and influence the organization. They also want to see how you succeeded. So this is one of the few roles that actually may need brags in it, and the brag should not be impressive to you. They should be... I don't even know if I like using the word brag. It should really just be like how you succeeded and met your goals, right? What was the problem? How did you fix it? Then they want to see that you have done stakeholder management, ignore the 0, CRM tools like HubSpot, and that you have set, met, and exceeded KPIs and performance goals. So let's see if I can find that in 20 seconds. Away I go. This is an abomination. Oh my gosh. Okay, degree. Why is this important? Expanded market 5 times the lead times by designing output, and why is that needed? Close 7 pilot deals. What were they impressive? Why do I need that? You did not tell me. Cut ramp time, but this is exhausting and I hate this. All right, that's a yeet. I did not find anything I needed. And you're probably screaming at me right now, but the problem is I'm about to look at your note to me, but you wrote this for an audience that doesn't understand it. You cannot make the assumption that they are going to know your industry. So have been applying for strategy and management consulting projects, interns. Wait. Are you applying for internships or not? Because internships are different than full-time roles. You cannot use the same resume that you would use to get a full-time role to get an internship and vice versa. Those are different. Would be for summer. Needed secure offer. Could I hop on the live and ask you questions while reviewing? Yes. If you are live, you can ask me questions after the call or after I review it. I try to review everything blind and then help people in chat. Because I think it is more accurate if I view this without what you explain it as first, so that I know, like, hey, these are the flaws. And in this one, A, your flaw is your formatting's a nightmare. Please use this. And B, these are terrible bullet points. They're absolutely terrible, right? So, generated first $15K in outbound revenue and promoted to GMTM lead by structuring a B2B sales engine across 9 verticals. That is too corporate. Look, I understand your job is to speak corporate and get people to do things, but your resume cannot be that. You cannot speak corporate on your resume. You can't. Every time that you do that, it's going to lead to failure. I want you to instead, I mean, geez, like, I don't know what you did, right? Like, what was your goal? Was 15K it? Because 15K is not a lot. If that was your whole goal and you've saved only 15K, you have not paid for yourself. So I don't know what you've done. I don't know why you've mentored these people or why this is relevant. Because this is not this. I need you to pretend you're speaking to a stakeholder, which I assume you've done. That is who you need to do it. Unlocked 11 million in revenue deal? What do you mean unlocked? Did you succeed at it? Or did you just say, hey, here's potential deals, and then peace out? I don't know. This was written to talk to people that are not reviewing your resume, including the hiring manager. If the hiring manager needs help with somebody that is a consultant, they are probably going to get confused by all of this stuff and say, well, I guess that's not impressive. I'm not going to move forward with them. You have to write this simply. You cannot explain all that. Like, instead of using all these numbers, right, I want you to instead say, guys, here's the thing. I don't even know what you've done. Like, what was your job? I don't even know. I think sales, maybe. So you need to tell me what you've done and then say something much simpler like, due to my success at this role, I received a promotion to the next level because it was so successful, right? Like, that would be something. You don't even need to do numbers. You don't even need to tell me it's 13 million and 5 times efficiency. You can just say, was in charge of the art department, and due to my project's success, based on X, Y, and Z, they promoted me to the next level up. That is impressive, and it gives context. This is a mess of, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I wonder what people in my chat are talking about right now about this. Maybe they have an idea, but I don't know what this is. You filled this with so many random numbers that I don't care about. So that's your problem. You need to fix it. You need to restart this whole resume and do it again. Next, resume. This is an aeronautical engineer, but basically just a mechanical engineer for aeronautics, which is really, really hard for me to find because this is the type of job I kind of wish you were here so I could search for the different types. But the short answer is I'm going to need your degree. I'm going to need CAD, NX, SolidWorks, maybe GD and T, and I'm going to need aerospace stuff. I don't know why I said airspace. I forgot the aero, but aerospace. Or aeronautical stuff, and then what you did on the flight things, right? Again, this is what happens when I can't find the job descriptions that much. It's tough. So basically, if I see the basic stuff and I see that you've worked on like airplane engines or airplane wings or air balloon nozzles, again, I don't know. I've done aerospace, but aeronautical is a little bit different. So anyway, let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Can't use anything here. Can't use any. Well, again, you didn't tell me what you did. You just said you got experience in gliding. What does this mean? Wait, are you trying to fly yourself? Okay, this is maybe okay, and that's it. Okay, yeah. So I don't really see anything here, and you didn't give me any information on it. It's also possible that you were not applying in the U.S., and that may make a difference. Again, I am a U.S.-based recruiter. I cannot be in every location, so sometimes this stuff in the U.S. is different from outside the U.S., but I don't see CAD. Yeah, I'm actually confused. So you went way too technical with this. So first off, switch your formatting to this. This is how you do it. Again, it's on my website, but you need better formatting. And second off, like, I'm not sure what you're going for here, because this doesn't read like you are looking to build aeronautical stuff. Or maybe it's just not called Aeronautical in the US. It's entirely possible. This just makes it seem like you flew, like you're a pilot. Are you looking to be a pilot? Is that what this is? And then this is, don't say gained experience in, okay? Never say I gained experience in blank. They're going to toss it. They don't want to see that you gained experience. They want to see that you did. You have to show what you've done. You cannot say I learned. Well, cool. They don't care. They need to see what you've done. And various kinds of smoke flow tunnel and made various tests. Like, this is not related. Like, I really just need you to say, like, used CAD, SolidWorks, and GD&T to create airplane schematics that were later built or something, right? Or airplane engine schematics. So the problem is this was, again, written for somebody that has a bachelor's in aeronautical engineering. The problem is the person reviewing your resume, and even potentially your future manager, does not have that. So this is incomprehensible to somebody that is a layman. Or alternatively, you gave me a title that only makes sense in the country of which you were applying, and in the US, this is called something differently than aeronautical engineer, and I missed it, which is entirely probable. So there's really not much more I can do for this, so let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So what we're looking for in a full stack software engineer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for architecture, extra links, Git, and DevOps. So that is it. That's really all we need, at least in the United States, and let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Also, this person is in my chat, so after this review, I'm going to talk to them to see what else we can do to fix this, but I try to read this without knowing what they say, because I don't want to color my perceptions of what somebody would look at this the first time. So, go. All right, don't need this. Formatting is terrible, but you've got your graduate a little far in advance, though. Okay, developed full stack peer review with Node.js and TypeScript. Good. Tailwind is no, again, because I'm looking for CSS, not Tailwind CSS. Could be different. In React.js, I did see, and Git and CI/CD is good. So that's not enough to move forward. So the reason I say Tailwind CSS is not the same as CSS, even if it is because one of the first things you learn as a tech recruiter is that Java is not the same as JavaScript. Java is the back end, JavaScript is the front end, except for like React and stuff, and then it gets a little weird. But that is one of the very first things you learn. And if by that logic that Java is different than JavaScript, then Tailwind CSS might be different than CSS. Same thing as how RESTful APIs might be different than REST APIs. You have to make the assumption that they may not know. So the things I saw were good, right? I saw Node and TypeScript. That's solid. I saw CSS and React and CI/CD and Git. The problem is I did not see JavaScript, CSS, or HTML. Remember, this may not count. So if you're going for a full stack role, your very first sentence should be used TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and maybe React in a blankety blank. So besides that, there's not enough in there, is the formatting is also bad. This is really hard to read. I cannot use anything here. This is fine, right? But although I will say that not every company hires this far out in advance. Some of them do, right? Like, so some people, when they graduate, they start they apply like 9 months in advance. That is a bit of a problem, is not every company is that early. For a fresh grad position, I'm trying to think if they would hire a ton towards the end of this to start in January. I think there should be some, but you'll probably have better luck after you graduate, just because it's a little bit sooner, and this is still the worst time of the month to apply. Or this and next month are the worst time of the year to apply. So you have some of the stuff I need, right? I just need more. Like, I need here it is, JavaScript. I didn't get that far down because of the formatting. Spirited design and full stack. You don't even have to keep saying full stack, right? You just say spearheaded the design of a Chrome extension using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS to overhaul company's internal ticketing system. So it's not bad, right? Like, this is not a destroy this resume, never let it see the light of day bad. It's just, it's not great, and you can do stuff to improve it. So fix the formatting, add a little bit more, make it a little easier to read, and make sure you clarify the qualifications you have. And I would say maybe shrink down some of these sentences, because they have a lot of stuff I don't need, and there's a lot of essentially like white space in some of these bullet points that we could use to fix. Mainly because there's like a lot of irrelevant information. So that's all for this resume. I'm now going to help them out in chat. Let's go to the next resume for everybody else. This is a resume of, I don't know. I actually had to look at the notes for this one. This one's really confusing to me. This person said software engineer. Okay. But then they also said DevOps as well, except they're graduating in 2027. And at least in the US, maybe where they're at in Ontario, I think Canada maybe is different, but at least in the US, if you apply to a role that is 2 years out, that's not gonna work. You need to usually be within 3 months of the start date. So I'm very confused on if this person is actually applying to be a software engineer intern, or if Canada's rules on how early you apply to a job are different, which I assume they're different than the US, but I don't think 2 years different. That's insane. So I'm thoroughly perplexed by this resume. So bad formatting, that's for sure. But maybe I could try to see if it's a Python dev by guessing, because I see Python. So Python is good. You don't tell me how you use full stack. JavaScript, there it is, full stack. Jenkins, I don't care about CI/CD. I do. Python, and yeah, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. I think maybe this is a full stack. Maybe you're going for full stack, in which case we could use the previous one. In which case I see Python, which is good. JavaScript is good. I don't care about Jenkins. I do care about CI/CD, but the rest of it is garbage, because there's really not enough here. Like that, this is the problem of making a generalized resume, is this does not have enough for me to move forward as a full stack. The previous resume, while it did have flaws, was better for full stack than this one, because it still at least had Git, it had CI/CD, it had, I think, maybe Agile, but it did have cloud way at the bottom. It had stuff that I would need. This, on the other hand, is a mix between multiple roles to the point where it does not have enough at any of them. So I'm thoroughly confused, and I'd like you to tell me in the comments what you're actually going for, because I don't know if you're going for an internship. I don't know if you're going for DevOps. I don't know what type of software engineer, maybe full stack, you're going for. But regardless of what it is, you don't meet the qualifications for any of them, because it's too generalized. Generalized resumes always fail. So that's all I can do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. I know my line for resume reviews is getting very long right now. There's currently over 270 in the queue, and I only do about 30 a week. But if you stay on the stream for about 5 streams, you can get a skip feature for free, and you can use that to skip the line. So I will see everybody else in the next video, and I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.